You're probably here because you're finding it a little bit difficult in finding your way about leadership, finding your way on how to manage people well, and finding your way on how to grow your business as an entrepreneur. Any one of these things are the topics that we cover. I'm your host, Sean C., aka Mr. CEO at 22. I am so glad that you took the first step of being here to learn more about leadership, entrepreneurship, and management because the world needs more people like you. We will help you to invest in yourself because that's something that is worth doing. That is something that is worth learning. If you have questions about entrepreneurship, maybe you're having problems at work or you're having some leadership problems or managing other people, boy, I have news for you. We have what we call a masterclass. Most of the courses in the masterclass deal with how you can generate revenue online. It deals with leadership, how to lead in crisis, how to break through the crisis in business, in entrepreneurship, and how you can manage other people better. Now, I always say the best kind of investment is an investment in yourself. And how much money are we charging for this masterclass? Not a lot. And if you invest in one, it's yours to keep. And if it doesn't, I'll refund you, no questions asked, full refund. So why don't you try it out? Head on over to sean.c/masterclass and check out any one of the courses if it fits any one of the questions in your head. And if you have any questions, you can just put it on the comment section and we'll get in touch with you. We want to know who you are and we want to hear from you. Until then, keep leading.
Um, Sean, I don't think I can hear anything. Is it me? I'm not sure if it's my issue.
Okay. Can you
Are
hear
you
me?
on? Yes.
Kanina pa ako nagdadadak dito.
Oh my god, is it
No,
my issue?
no, it's me. It's me. Actually, before I went here to the show, I had technical problems, bigla, and hasn't happened before. I don't know what's happening now. Maybe because I'm using my GPU for mining some coins.
Oh,
But
grabe,
yeah,
crypto.
yeah, maybe it's because of that. I don't know, because yeah, maybe it's because of that. Anyway, I'm so excited to have you here. You're making waves in the personal finance industry on TikTok and YouTube, and Leadership Stack is proud to have you. We are with Lara behind the scenes. She is our producer, and she is the one helping me out with the Leadership Stack show. And they're so excited to have you in the show as well as I am. And we have our first shout out. Hey, Mitch, welcome to the show again tonight. We missed you. Thank you for being here. Hello down, Nicole. Ayan.
Hi,
So, Nicole,
Midge.
Nicole, for the leadership stack, people who might not be familiar with you yet, for those, baka wala namang ganun sa mundo ngayon, pero sakali lang. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Right. So I think starting off yung nga talaga introducing myself. So I'm Nicole, and I'm currently a fourth year student in UP Diliman, taking up pol sci. But I guess what people really know me for online is for my YouTube videos, and I create videos mostly on personal finance, but it's mostly just to share the things that I've been learning so far. And I think that's good enough for a self-introduction because marami tayong pag-usapan tonight, no?
Oh yeah, marami tayong questions tonight. So, which is great, at least a lot of people are going to be learning from what we are. I'm not a personal finance expert myself. I have a lot to learn as well, and I'm super interested in what you have to say. Grabe, fourth year student ka pa lang.
Oh, so I'm
Wow.
currently fourth year nga. I'm 21. And I'm personally also not a personal finance expert. I just really have lots of fun. For some reason, it's something that's interesting to me. And yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. As early as now, di ba? Start 'em young, yun nga sabi nila. And if right now you're trying to figure it out, you got a bright future ahead of you. Okay. So, Nicole, this is gonna be casual lang. We're just gonna be answering questions that are asked
Mhm.
by some of our people in the community,
Right.
and basically, yeah, we're just gonna be giving them a piece of our minds, basically, on what they want to learn.
That's
So,
always
I'm
fun. Mhm.
gonna select the first question, and that's gonna be from Pam. If you are on a tight budget, is it possible to save money?
Oh, okay. So this is like talagang past questions now. I think it's always
Yeah.
possible to save money, but it's just harder to save money when you're on a tight budget. Oh, talagang diving deep ka agad sa questions, no? And just
Yeah.
a like disclaimer, no, I'm always just like whenever I talk about personal finance, it mostly comes from experience. Like I mentioned, I'm like
Mhm.
21 nga. So just a disclaimer for people, no, don't not to take anything as I say as like a personal financial advice. I think we all handle money naman, so we all have some opinions about money. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from. But I like to answer this question. Is it possible? Definitely it's possible, but it's a lot harder if you're on a tight budget.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Very just straight and short and sweet. Very concise. The way we
I think
like it.
right? I think that's what always people like a lot I get a lot of questions in the comment section now. Is it possible to do this? Is it possible to do this? Or like how do I do this? What's the best investment for me? And these questions are always so hard to answer because for one, I don't know anything about you, your situation. It will always depend, no? I think the safe
Yeah.
answer is always it depends because it's so
Yeah.
hard to say. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I would say to it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And completely agree. I mean, if you're on a tight budget, you probably should be already saving money because you're being on a tight budget, right? So, yeah. The next question would be, how do I start managing my money better? I think this might be from coming from the context that she's having some difficulty managing her
Right.
money right now.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay. This is like hot fire personal finance questions. From time to time, I would look to the side because I'm actually looking at the questions here as well. But
Sure.
I would always say, like with anything that you do, no, it's always important to know the reason why you're doing it. I think this is like a broad question. No? A lot of people have difficulty with managing money. For me, it's easy because I find it fun. No? I think it's just something that yeah, I have fun with. But I know for the most for most people, it's something that they really struggle with. And we
Yeah.
all know it's important to manage your money. It's important to be responsible with it. Know what you can do with money. All those things. We don't need any more people telling us that it's important. We know that, but a lot of us have difficulty on like controlling our impulses. Probably, maybe like finding ways to earn money, for example. But at least I
Mhm.
would say like, how do you start managing your money better? For one, is to first figure out why you're doing it in the first place. No, baka you're not managing as well because you think you're impulse spending a lot and you can't control, like you're not very responsible with your money. Try to dig deep at that now. Why is that the case? No. Why do you think that you're not managing your money well? Is it because you're probably spending too much? Is it because you think that you're not investing enough? Yeah, I think that's always how I would start with things. So when people ask me certain questions, first like why muna? Like why is this a problem for you?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. These kinds of questions are very very broad, very vague.
Yeah.
We need more of the context before we could answer it on a more qualified way, no?
Mm-mm.
But yeah, very. I'm curious, Cole. Is that a
Yeah.
monitor right
This one?
beside you?
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is actually a
So
monitor.
you're looking at a dual monitor? Is that right?
It's actually like a widescreen monitor. So for the longest time I've been like just using my laptop as like student, diba? Like really just working on the laptop. But last
Yeah.
year I actually like spent the money to actually have to build like a desktop. Not really a desktop. It's still powered by my laptop, but I have like a monitor. And it's been I never thought that I would actually like having a widescreen monitor. Oh no,
Yeah.
did I? Yeah, but it's a widescreen monitor.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. That's nice. All right. I have a I have a personal question as well. So you're on your fourth year. What
Right.
course are you
Mhm.
taking?
So I'm currently taking up political science.
Wow, political
It's
science.
it's funny because people always ask like, "What's your course, ate? Are you business, accounting, economics?" And then I always like, whenever I say what my course is, people are like, "Huh? First, political science? Why?"
So yeah, why political science?
I think at the start, I think for everyone who's high school, no, that's always a common crisis. You get a crisis now. Oh no, what course do I pick? And at the
Yeah.
time, I also didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just like, oh no, it's time for me to pick a course. I don't know what I want to do. This sounds interesting. I'll pick this, and then wherever I get in, I'll decide. And I
Yeah.
just happened to get in. Like, yeah, I got in Ateneo, and that's like
Yeah.
management engineering. Tapos here in UP, I got in Polsci, and I was thinking, Polsci seems interesting. No, it's different.
Yeah.
I think I'll try to expose myself to that environment in UP. And as of right now, like for the longest, I'm in Polsci, but it's so hard for me. Like I have really, like it's really hard for me. For some reason, my brain can't grasp political science theories. And I remember I got like a crisis. I felt a crisis, mga second year. Parang, should I shift? I don't like this. I feel so bobo medyo. I feel so stupid. Like,
Yeah.
how come everyone seems like they get Balsai, but for me, I have such a big difficulty. It doesn't come as easy as personal finance, for example, or like when I
Yeah.
understand, like when I read business books, mga ganun. Yeah. But I'm here, political science. I'm just finishing it at this point, and I'm just enjoying and learning along the way from my profs, from the lessons that we have. And
Yeah.
it's also right now. It's just a good conversation starter. Nah, did you know I'm
Yeah.
Polsci? Yes, I talk about
Yeah.
personal finance, but I'm
And you're
Polsci.
almost done. It's your fourth year. So you stuck it
Exactly.
out.
Yeah.
You
Yun
stuck it
talaga
out.
like.
That's good. That's good. And ano naman, you're passing everything naman.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, like
That's
that's my
good.
goal now. It's like done is better than perfect. We just need to
Yeah.
pass it. And at this point, I'm not super grade conscious na eh. Like I remember at this time, at this period in time, I'm also kind of thinking about okay, what's next after grad? What do I do next? And
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think I'll be pursuing political science as like a career field no in the
So what's it
future.
gonna be?
I'm still thinking. I have a few months to really make up my mind. So I don't know. Like from the past few years, I've really been on exploration mode, just like trying everything out. Because I mentioned them a
Yeah.
while ago. In high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but then like the best thing that you can do really is experiment. No, so at least you can find out what you don't want to do. So that's what I tried.
Yeah.
I just like tried lots of things and like
Yeah.
narrowing it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. That's a smart way to do it. Um, I'm 33 now, but I still talk to a lot of college students in schools. Just last week, I've done 2 or 3 talks. It's all on
Mm-hmm.
Zoom. The last one was with PJMA. There were 3,000 people
Okay.
tuned in.
Ooh.
And
All right.
when I was your age, I was actually failing left and right, 28 units in LaSalle. And
Grabe.
I
28
got almost
units.
kicked out. Yeah, 28 units.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
but like you, I stuck it out. Stuck it out. IT. And it wasn't something that I really was fond of as well.
Mm-hmm.
Same as you. I thought, how much of an idiot could I be? Why don't I get it?
Right.
Yeah, I
Right.
stuck it
Right.
out. So thank God I graduated. Almost, at the teetering edge of wherever I was during that time. But now I'm into marketing.
right?
So you just
It's
don't
funny
know. You just
how
don't.
right. It's funny how things work out. Like
Yeah.
I think at the moment when you're in the moment, it looks like the world's gonna end. I'm failing everything. I don't know what's gonna happen. But look
Yeah.
at you right now. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's all in God's hands and in God's plans.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, but yeah, good to know. I mean, you have a very interesting story. I was curious, and yeah, thanks for indulging my curiosity.
Oh, like if you notice, I'm madaldal ako. Like I talk a lot. These are just like one-off questions.
That's what makes talk shows like this very interesting. So we got our next question from Jaka. Jaka, thanks for being here on the show. How do you manage your attachment towards money?
Right. So
Attachment.
this is like another like general question, no? And I'm kind of like interpreting it along the way. So when you're thinking
Yeah.
about how do you manage your attachment to money, is it like parang you love money so much? I don't know. Like how
Mm.
would you interpret this question, Sean?
Well, for me, I would relate it na lang from my context or my perspective. How I understand this question is about security. Like for me,
Mm.
it's about security because without money, then you're gonna find it hard to put food on the table. I'm a family guy. I got 3 kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta feed my family. So, I guess for me, that's gonna be my attachment towards money. It's for security to have a more secure future.
Right,
I
right.
guess a lot of people would have the same answer, and then there are people who are outliers and say that they really are attached to money to spend. They love
Mm-hmm.
shopping and love buying stuff. Yeah,
Right, right.
so we can
Mm.
answer it to both
That's really
ways.
right. That's interesting. I would say like how I interpret this now. Like usually people say na don't get so ano to money. Money is the root of all evil. Things like that. Like wag ka mukhang pera. Like all of those negative sentiments around money. But I think that's the point now. Like when people like that's why people avoid talking about it now. It's like people don't want to look like mukha silang pera. Like they're super
Mm,
attached to money na they worship money. Like, I think I would interpret it that way, your attachment towards money. But I think that's the root of all money problems now, especially when it comes to the family. Also, like if no one talks about it, you don't know how to manage money. Like if no one
yeah.
teaches you because like for fear na you look like yeah you're working, you're grinding, you're working to earn money, and then people say mukha kang pera. Like siyempre, it makes you feel bad. It's like that smart shaming, parang just shaming, like the shame around it. Now,
Yeah.
if you're attached to money, there's usually shame attached to that. But I
Yeah.
would say like I think you have the question no, like what is your attachment to money? What does it serve for you? Like you said, for you, it's like security. No, like for
Yeah.
it affords you to buy like a house, no shelter for your family.
Yeah.
But for some people, I don't know. It's all. Ang bilis kong like I'm taking time to process this as well.
You're
But
getting ahead here. So ahead.
right, super ahead. I don't know if like people can follow. I'll slow down. But yeah, like how do you manage your attachment to money? I think just think about money as a tool. Money's not evil. Like, when people say money is good, money is bad, I think it's
Yeah.
pretty arbitrary. It's a
Yeah.
tool at the end of the
Yeah.
day. What does money afford you? For some people, it's
Yeah.
security. For some people, it's liberation, opportunity.
Mm.
And I think being aware that money is a tool and what does it enable you to do now, like that's the starting step of how you manage your attachment to money.
Yeah. 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 Good answer. Also, I learned this from Randall Tiongson. He's one of my mentors when it comes
Mm.
to personal finance. And he gives this trivia at the beginning of his talk, and he says, do you know that the Bible talks about money in such a way that is multiple times more than it talks about heaven and hell?
Mm-hmm.
And that's because God knows we're not always going to be thinking about heaven and hell in our daily lives. We're going to be thinking a lot about money. So inunahan na tayo ni Lord. There's so many verses about money in the Bible, and the complete verse about money being the root of all evil is the love of money. The love of
Mm.
money is the root of all evil. And when you use the word love, that's a very powerful word. That means you're willing to sacrifice yourself for it, right? Love is sacrificial. Love is commitment. And when you're committed and sacrificial towards money, that's the root of all evil. Not just money in itself, because Nicole, what you said was exactly right. Money is a tool; it's a means to an end. Whether you want to use it for good, you want to use it for the advancement of God's kingdom, or you want to use it for evil things. It's really up to you. You control how you want to use your money, but the love of it is the root of all evil. So
Mm,
yeah, that's
interesting.
my piece. That's
Interesting
my piece
question.
about that.
I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when you think about it now, like most things in life, or like when people ask, like, is this a good thing? Is it bad? Like when you talk about, I think a lot of it, or my examples are gonna be like personal finance. Like when people say, masama ang utang, credit cards are bad. No, at the end of the day, it's a tool. It depends on how you use
Yeah.
it. No, yeah,
Yeah.
I think just like to bandwagon on what you said.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely right. There's good debt, bad debt.
Mm.
Yeah. It's such a broad topic. Such a broad topic. I just wanted to share that with you. I'm born again Christian, and
Mm-hmm.
what Randall said resonates a lot with me. So many verses about money, not a lot about heaven and hell. That's
Right.
because we as human beings, we're gonna be thinking about our living every day more than heaven and hell.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a follow up question from Jacob. I'm saving 40 to 50% of my salary and then invest, but at the end of the day, parang I'm not satisfied and it feels like I'm becoming more greedy. Do I lack discipline lang ba?
Ooh. I would say, like it's I wonder how I would approach this question now. Like, what is it exactly that's making you feel this way? Like, do you feel like you're not saving enough because you see other people saving a lot more? I think the root of this is comparison. No? I would say, like, a lot of the reason why we feel
Mm,
bad sometimes is when we compare ourselves to other people. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing
yeah,
enough because I can see other people way ahead of me. No. Like,
yeah,
I think comparison just makes you feel bad if you're not using it for inspiration. No? And it's hard to say, like 40 to 50% of your salary. I don't know. If you're not satisfied with that, try to identify first, like, why are you not satisfied with that? Why do you feel like you should save more? Is it because you're trying to achieve a certain goal? Like at the end of the
yeah,
day, like all of this personal finance thing, like sometimes for me, I kind of like get so all up in personal finance na maximizing numbers, things like
mhm,
that. But at the end of the day, I think you don't be too hard on yourself, no? Like
yeah,
a lot of it is it's like 40 to 50% is actually really good when
yeah,
you compare it relatively to other people.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it really depends what you're trying to do and why. And only you can say for yourself like, if you're doing a good job or a bad job. But then also kind of like assess what's your measuring stick ba? Like how are you making this judgment of whether it's good or bad? Is it because you're
yeah,
comparing it to other people? Is it because you're not progressing as fast as you hope you want to? Parang ganun.
yeah. I feel like I'm just trying to get some context from what she said, which is
Right.
she's she's investing, probably investing it all, and
Mm.
then she feels like she's becoming greedy, probably, because she keeps buying. I don't know what you're investing in, whether it's stocks, crypto, land, but whatever it is, if you're investing too much in it for you, only you can really tell. Because for some people, saving 40 to 50% and investing it, that could be their goal, and for them it's not being greedy, it's being smart.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty good.
yeah, that's pretty good actually, in my
Yeah.
opinion. In
I think
terms
like
of
what
discipline,
sorry about that.
I mean, this is the last piece I'm gonna say. If you lack discipline by saving 40 to 50% of your money, I don't know what other disciplines you're looking for.
Exactly. And yeah, like if you're disciplined enough to save 40 to 50%, no? Like that's good. It's working for you then. Like yeah, what is it really that's making you do you want to save 70%? 60%? Like
Yeah,
it's a hard to like make assumptions based on like this like a short sentence lang.
yeah. I think if you're saving somewhere 70% of what you make, you're probably at the top 0.1% of the world's net income earner already. So that's going to be very, very good. So 40 to 50%, depending on your age, that's already very, very good. So I hope that sheds some light, Jacob, to your question. No, but thanks for being here and for asking that. So from April, There's a question: did your family instill this financial literacy at home, or was it something you discovered with peers, school? I always thought that financial literacy really begins at home.
Hmm. Great question. I think as like we're Filipino Chinese, no. I think
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I can speak for you, but I think at home we've always been like parang emphasize on the importance of money. Like huwag masyado magtipid, don't buy ganon ganon. Like I think that's the sense of like the financial literacy that I have at home. Yeah, it's important to save, wag basta gumastos.
yeah,
Don't buy something if it's a waste. Those things.
yeah,
Typically like what has been drilled into me. But if we talk about like all of this investment now, no, I think that's the extent of my personal finance education here at home. It's like being mindful about where you put your money and not just spending it all, blowing it all, and how important it is. But when it comes to all of the things that I talk about now on my channel, I would say that a lot of it I learned on my own by just like looking at articles, watching videos.
yeah,
I actually got interested in personal finance around high school because I kind of felt
wow,
like a crisis na I don't know what course I'm going to take, but one thing I know for sure is I don't want money to be a problem. And
yeah,
people who don't typically have a lot of money problems is if you have like yeah, like, typically people have money problems if you don't have enough of it. Like I would say no, like that's mostly
yeah,
like people struggle. So I've said like, okay, no matter what I choose to do in the future, I hopefully am not gonna worry about money. And how do you not? So like I just started. Like I just Google like how to earn money as a student, like how to earn money as ano. And typically you start encountering resources now. Oh yeah, you can freelance. You can do this. This is about investments. Like that rabbit hole of learnings that I was having when I was in high school or like after I graduated, and
yeah,
that's like the financial literacy I taught myself. And yeah, definitely financial literacy definitely begins at home, but I don't think everyone has that luxury, of parents teaching them how to manage
yeah,
their money, or maybe even to school. No, people will argue that it should be part of our curriculum, but as of right now,
yeah.
it's not. I didn't
It's
learn
not.
these things in school. I didn't learn these things at
Yeah,
school. It would be nice if it's part of the curriculum, but for me, no.
yeah,
Like I had to educate myself then, and I think that goes for majority of Filipinos and people around the world. No, and like
yeah,
educating themselves about personal finance.
yeah, yeah. I think it's a life skill, and I do agree to a certain extent that it should be taught at school, or could be at least one subject. I do agree
Mm-mm.
with that wholeheartedly. For me naman, and very very a lot of similarities with Nicole. Yung parents ko sinasabi na magtipid, wag gastos ng gastos.
Mm-hmm.
And there were practical applications when I was growing up. I'd be forced to work in the bodega. My dad owns a hardware store. So I'd be a bodeguero there from grade 3 all the way to high school. I'd carry hardware back and forth our trucks. I'd make 20 pesos a day as a kid. And I learned the value of hard work because it was pretty hard work. You're grade 3, I don't know how young that is, 10 years old, 9 years old. And that's something I did. It was hot, it was dusty,
Oh, for
I'd
sure.
sweat a lot, and be paid 20 pesos at the end of the day. So,
I kind of have like similar experience because my parents aren't like they're self-employed. I think they've always been self-employed. So growing up, also like they would bring me to the store. Like we had like a shop kasi, and I would just like stay there and manage the tindahan, and, like watch them,
yeah,
like see the value of hard work, and seeing
yeah.
my parents know like how they was like right now, where I would say like I'm I'm pretty privileged, but like all of this is like the fruits of my parents' labor, and I can see talaga like like when you look at money kasi if it's not yours, it's hard to associate value with it. Pag hindi mo siya
Mm,
pinaghirapan, no?
yeah.
And when you, I'm already like starting to earn kasi like, yeah, like when I started freelancing, it's one thing to receive an allowance from your parents, no? But it's another when you start earning your own money. Like you can see the
Yeah.
value of the money na, oh my God, yung lahat ng pinaghirapan ko just to earn this much, no? And you kind of start to like seeing associating the value with money. But yeah,
Yeah.
like I would say like same experience. Sa tindahan also, like I would like
Yeah.
help around.
There you go. If you want to teach your kids the value of money or financial literacy early on, make them work. So with my I have two boys, 7 and 5, and a baby girl. And I told
Oh
my
my.
wife, for our boys, someday I'm gonna make them work. That's it. We have some clients that are in the hardware or in the appliances industry, in SEO hacker, and all I need to tell them, hey, can my can my son work there for the summer? I want them to
Mm-hmm.
learn it. That's, I think that's the best way to teach them in a hands-on approach the value of money. Don't keep asking me to buy stuff for you. Learn
Right.
first the value of money. Then you'd be
Mm.
smart in what you're gonna be asking me to buy for you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So that's how I'm gonna do it. That's how I learned how to do it.
And I
And
think
and
an
same with
off
you pala.
right. And
Yeah.
I think an offshoot of that, no, the best way to learn sometimes is really to experience it. No,
Yeah.
parang ganun. Like, give them the experience, be more hands-on. And ako with my personal finance things, people always ask me, like, what's the best book for this? What's the best ganito? Can you recommend, like, this for me? Like, there's no best, no? Like, you just really need to start. Just try. You
Yeah.
start, that's the best way to learn kasi when you said, like, when you were starting off, you were failing left and right. And I think
Yeah.
failure, like, when you fail things, no, that's like a marker that you're trying out new things, eh, when you fail. Because syempre, like when you're a beginner at things, there's a lot of things that won't work when you're starting out. And when you're starting to learn about things, there's a lot of like probably resources that are not super helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, yun lang. That's what I think
And
I wanted to say about that.
yeah, even if you read books, tapos you're not really having a hands-on practical approach, it's hard to apply the things that they say in the books. Eh. So
Oh,
ako
for sure.
personally, I've read Randall's No Nonsense Personal Finance, which is a fantastic book, by the way, on personal finance. And I've also read Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. And the
Mm,
principles are almost exactly the same. But
right.
if you don't practice it, if you have no idea where to start practically speaking on a hands-on approach, it's hard to really make it sink in. It's hard. It's hard. So I suggest you just have to start. And there are a lot of resources out there that's free. I mean, Nicole, you talk a lot about personal finance management on YouTube, and that's free.
Right. And I learned a lot of things I know also for free. Like resources, like we're in the age of the internet right now. Like Google search, ang dami yan.
Yeah, yeah, super. There are a couple of people pala who are here. Joshua, thanks for being here. Giselle is here. Nakaabot siya sa
Woo.
live. Yes, nakaabot ka sa live.
Welcome. Hi
Hopefully,
guys.
you got to hear the answer to your question kanina.
May replay
And
naman, di ba?
Dian,
Or
sorry?
ayun. May replay naman do? Is there a
Meron,
replay for
meron. So
this?
you guys can replay this right after the video, and also we're gonna be editing it, making it very fast paced, and we're gonna be uploading it on YouTube and Spotify after this, maybe in a couple of months' time.
Perfect.
Yan, sabi ni Vian mga Lodi. Vian, thank you for being here. We're always
Hello,
happy to have
Vian.
you here. And Chrissy is here also. Good evening. Just having fun listening to this chit chat, and we are having fun as well, chit chatting with you.
Yeah, super fun. Just chill.
So, what do you do pala as for your freelance, Nicole?
Oh, so I'm not like so actively freelancing now. But yeah, when I was on my personal finance high, like I was like getting like, yes, I'm reading, I'm learning. Oh yeah, it's important to earn money. Like as a student, kasi you're like I remember my parents telling me like, wag ka muna masyado like super like atat to work. Like don't like just
Mm,
study hard first, and then you
yeah.
can think about work later. And I was like thinking, no, I want to learn right now. Like I learned these principles. Now it's important to save because you're young, you have time on your side. I want to do it now. So at the time, I was like trying to really like search like, okay, I am a teenager. I'm not really allowed to get a job right now. Child labor policies, whatever. But yeah, I was like trying. I was on this stint on this high. Like I'm learning so much, and I want to apply. And I tried a lot of things. Like one of them nga is like I would like right now like when people search like, oh yeah, these online jobs, no. I tried like transcribing. Like I would listen to audio and I would transcribe that, and I would get like a very small fee. That's one of the first few things I did. Then I also tried parang print on demand, mga Redbubble, no. Like I saw on videos na you can make designs, you upload them, and then when people order it, you earn a cut. That's another thing I tried.
Yeah.
Then I would buy and sell. Like I would buy and sell mga jackets, my windbreakers. I think I have a video about that on my channel. And then but talaga ako, I think for me, I really liked making videos. And when I was younger, I had like an interest in learning graphic design. So I had
Yeah.
some skills. I wasn't professionally trained, but I know how to use Photoshop. I know how to use Illustrator. So for a time,
Yeah.
I also like this freelancing thing. I also like made logos, edited videos for clients. So I did that for a time. Because I was really like trying to find ways to earn money because
Yeah.
I didn't have a job.
Yeah. Yeah. And alam mo, sobrang relate ako doon sa parents mo sinasabi, huwag kang magmadali, huwag kang atat
Oo.
kumita ng pera. Grabe. You know, feel shy parents. They're the
Like,
same.
it's like study hard, get a good job. Ganun, ganun. And I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
wanna learn now. So,
You want to learn out and be an entrepreneur, di ba?
oh, yun nga. I think that's like common because I was doing a bit of stalking about you. It's like, yeah, you are
Yeah.
a serial entrepreneur. You built like 5 companies, no? I don't know. At least that's what I saw. SEO hacker and the other things. And I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah. Yeah, I was just reading it. I'm like, yes, relate. Same vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I started that way. I started as a freelancer. Do you know that?
Yeah,
Um,
yung SEO, no? That's
there
really
you go.
your talag.
Yeah, that's it. So it's an online blog, and to start a website, it's during that time it's just 1,300 pesos. You have your own site that you own. 500 pesos per year for the domain name seo-hacker.com. 800 pesos per year for the hosting, which hosts all of your files, and that's where people access your website. So
Mm-hmm.
1,300 pesos, you got your own website. And WordPress yung ginamit kong system, which is
Ah, okay.
it's a zip file. You download it, you unpack
Right.
it. 5 minutes, you got a website. You just have to slap in some themes, designs, and it's free. So I started blogging, and a lot of people started picking up on it. And SEO during that time was practically unheard of here in the Philippines,
Right.
where we're
Right.
10 years behind the rest of the world. Suddenly I got inquiries, and I did SEO for a couple of companies. It grew, and I needed to hire full-time people. I needed to get my first office, and I had no idea how to do this. I didn't know how to pay the government tax for my employees. I didn't know how to pay the government benefits during that time. Wala. As in, I didn't know a lot of stuff. The taxes, the business renewal. My gosh, I didn't even know how to renew my business permit during that time. So I really learned from a lot of mistakes, and I paid for them literally. Those are my tuition fees.
This
And
sorry. Yeah, go on.
yep,
No,
go ahead, go ahead.
I'm just gonna stop you very quickly because I find it funny, no? Like I see so many similarities of what I'm facing right now. Because I saw, like you said, that when you started SEO Hacker, you were blogging to share your learnings about
Yeah,
SEO. Right? That's how you
yep,
started. And for me,
yep.
I started making videos to share the things I've been learning about personal finance. And same with
There
you,
you go.
like I came to a point that I experienced so like faster growth on my channel than most average YouTube channels. Like I started my channel kasi around May 2020 because I was like looking for things to do during the lockdown. I've always wanted to do a
Yeah,
YouTube channel, so I tried it out and I just uploaded and it grew. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, I have to learn how to pay taxes. Like how do I register these things? How and then when I was starting to work with brands, they started asking for like, do you have a receipt? Are you registered? I'm like, no, what's that? So I had to learn about all of these things, you know, as it happens, as it naturally does when something scales, you know, when
yeah,
something is getting momentum. So yeah,
yeah,
I just wanted to say that. 'Cause I'm like, oh my god, that's what I'm experiencing right now. And probably
yeah,
like after this talk show, I have so many things to ask. Just like
yeah,
seeing how you've done it. Like, yeah.
yeah. Actually, to give you an idea, I when I registered in DTI, so I'll
Mm.
tell you the story. I personally went to DTI in Makati, and I registered there super fast. My experience during that time, this was 2011 April, super fast. DTI bilis. BIR a little bit more slower, but that depends on where you live. I live in Las Piñas during that time. I'm in Parañaque now. Las Piñas, medyo mas matagal. You gotta get the cedula. I personally did all these things. I
Right.
went to the government municipio. I went to the BIR office. That was tough. That took a long time to finish for me. But DTI, super fast. And
Mm.
right now, I think if you're making less than 3 million a year, you're
Oh,
in the percentage tax bracket, which means you just get taxed 3%. That's it,
right.
right?
Yeah.
And then
So
you
for
have
me,
the income
mhm.
tax.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
actually
ahead.
for me, like when I was like researching about this, I figured I kind of had like a lot of help from like my friends who are also doing YouTube and like what did you do? What like tell me like how did you do it? Because like it's one thing to like read about it, But like eventually I did figure it out. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to register as like a self-employed professional. Yeah, you go to these offices, get this receipt, authority to print, all those technical details.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yun nga eh.
If you have more questions later, no problem. Just ask me. No worries. I'm not an expert though. I'm not like not, right now I have people doing all of these things for me because it's just too much time. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, you shouldn't be doing it yourself. Because
Oh
I
my
always
gosh, yeah.
say you have to calculate how much you pay yourself, diba? So if you're paid at a pay grade that's higher, then don't do the runner's job, right? Right now, we consider it the runner's job to fix all of the paperwork with the governments
Right.
because you're
I'm kind
paying
of like,
yourself.
oh, I'm so sorry. I keep
Yeah,
interrupting you because my brain is like, oh my god, I have a question. This is
go
kind
ahead.
of like we're answering comments along the way, but I'm also like, I'm at that point that I'm scaling, but at this point, like I'm running my YouTube channel, right? It's pretty massive, and at this point, people usually hire out things. But it's so hard pala to start delegating. Like that's what I'm trying to learn right now. To start like outsourcing things now. Like to delegate things, get people to help me. Because as it's hard to scale yourself. Like for
Yeah.
me, like I've been doing everything myself with the YouTube. I research it, I make the script, I film it, I edit it, make the thumbnail,
Wow.
post. And at the start it's okay, right? It's for fun. But right now I'm kind of reaching like a point now, oh my god, it's me like choosing between do I write my academic paper or do I finish this deliverable or like do I do this like YouTube? Like I'm at that point. And a lot of these things can be solved if you just delegate no. And like
Yeah.
it is like and you said now, you should the things that you should know as an entrepreneur, no. That you can't do everything by yourself. Especially
Yeah.
when you're working on something that you want to scale. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
at that point. I'm like having so much difficulty okay, how do I even start hiring out? No, what do I need to outsource? Yeah.
So right now, you're not yet outsourcing anything to
No,
anyone.
everything is still by myself. That's why like I think your assistant a while ago emailed me. It's me answering my emails. It's me like communicating with brands. Everything is me. Like
Yeah.
like
I'll
even with
be.
the writing the receipts no. Like when people
Yeah.
like yeah, I will manually write it. Because at the start I really
Yeah.
wanted to learn all of this now. How does it happen? Because it like I was just scared now. Okay, I hire at someone right now, but I will never learn it for myself. But I
Yeah.
think I'm at the point that okay, I know what to do. I should probably like hire someone now.
Yeah, yeah. So completely agree at the get go. I also did all of those things myself so that I learned it. That's actually a very smart thing to do. And then the first jobs that I delegated out when I was starting out are the jobs that for me are the easiest for other people to learn and the
Mm.
easiest for me to let go of. So one of the last thing that I let go of as an entrepreneur is selling and closing deals because it's not easy
Mm.
selling SEO. Our contracts
Right.
are 7 digits for one client. So, and you're selling what? You're selling something intangible. It's a service. People
Mm-hmm,
don't,
mm-hmm.
they can't see it physically. They can't touch it, smell it, taste it. So it's not easy selling a 7 digit contract to a company or a client who has just entered the digital marketing scene. And so that's the last thing I let go of. And that's a very important thing for me. But everything else, like the writing, the link building, all the facets of SEO, I let go of. The production of this podcast, I let go of that. Lara's in charge. The technical aspects, I have, sabi mo nga kanina, I do have a personal assistant answering my emails and sending my speaking bio to all of these companies requesting
Yeah, yeah.
to speak. Yeah. So that delegation gets easier because when you delegate, what you usually do is, especially today, and ikaw magaling ka mag-video edit, you screen cap it and you take a video of yourself teaching it. You collect those videos, they become process documents. Now, when you
Mm.
hire someone, just serve them the process document and then tell them if you have any questions, then ask me. That's how you
Mm.
grow a business. You create systems, you create process documents, and you hire the right people. Yan ang
Right.
pinaka-importante. Medyo mahirap. Yeah, right? So,
Yun nga eh.
you gotta hire the right people.
Yeah,
Um,
that's something that I learned
nagiging-
also. Sorry, sorry. I just
yeah, go
like
ahead.
really like thinking about these things because that's something that I realized now. Like when people say like, "Oh, how do you start a business?" Like all of these things, all of these jargons now. What's important? Yung mga profit, mga ganun, margin, ganun, ganun. But at the core of it, like what a lot of the things that I learned, it really is about people. I think business is about people management. Like
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. you need to learn how to work with people. Like that's something I'm realizing right now talaga. Like yeah, like I'm sorry, I'm trying it because I'm also starting something on the side, like a side project, and we're kind of like in the process of like hiring interns now, like parang delegating people on the side, and I'm kind of like getting like the flip end of the experience because I've already experienced being an intern, no, having things delegated to me. And how
Yeah.
I manage and how like I could tell like who people like my leaders and like my bosses essentially who are good no and when it's clear for them to delegate to me or for some people like they aren't so clear about delegating their
Yeah.
tasks to me and I'm kind of lost on what I'm supposed to do. So I'm kind of like getting the flip side of it now. I'm trying to figure out how do you delegate things? How do you hire out people?
Yeah, yeah. One really good reason, and I've read a lot of stuff about delegation, but the best one for me comes from the book Entree Leadership by Dave
Mm-hmm.
Ramsey, no less. And in there, he says that delegation, a lot of people and companies get it wrong because they think you just give the keys to the kingdom to that person and say, drive it from point A to point B, and you're done. But usually, what happens is along the way, they wreck the car or they get to some sort of mischief and pop the tire, break the windshields, and so on. And when they get to point B, you're there and you're saying, what happened to my Ferrari? And that's when what Dave Ramsey points out. He says, when you delegate, don't do it that way. What you do is tell that person, okay, get into the passenger seat. I'm driving. This is how you park. This is how you go out of the garage. This is how you drive from point A to point B. These are the traffic stops. You gotta be careful in this curve and that curve. You show them the ropes, and then you tell them, okay, now I'm gonna be in the passenger seat. You're gonna be in the driver's seat, and you check out how they do it, and you teach them while they're there when they make mistakes. And then when you're confident for them, then you give them the keys to the Ferrari. And the best example that he gives is his own son. And he tells the story that until I'm confident that my son is going to be alive when he's driving and he's successfully going to be parking the car, I'm not going to let him drive alone. I'm going to be there with him. And that is the
Mm.
picture of delegation that a lot of entrepreneurs and people miss. Kasi inisip natin, I hired you eh. Di ba dapat tulungan mo ko? Di ba dapat ikaw na
Mm.
bahala? That's why I hired you. But delegation has some time and effort investment at the forefront. And if you do that well, then you reap the benefits thereafter.
Mm. So yung parang training the people who also work with you, that comes with it, no? Education. Because
Yeah.
that's something I learned, no? Realized na, yeah, I think about it this way. This is how I do things. And when you delegate it, they don't necessarily do things the same way you do it. Or parang it's not, I mean, sometimes it's not the same care. Because for me, like when I'm creating my channel, my videos, no, it's my baby. So I'm putting
Yeah.
extra effort and care into it. But syempre, when you delegate it, like some people, syempre, it's not on the same level of care as you do because it's not theirs.
Yeah. So long as it's 80% as well, that's enough. Right?
Mm.
For it, no one can make it 100%. No one. You cannot expect that from anyone. So long as it's 80% good for you, that's good enough.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
So I hope that helps a little bit. I know you're at a very exciting time. I was so excited when I was starting out SEO hacker. And before hindi pa uso ang YouTube so it was still the
Mm.
written word blog, and that's how I started out. But now it's YouTube, it's TikTok, right? Tony Aquino,
Oh,
who was a guest here, TikTok naman siya. Talagang
right,
doon siya
right, right.
nag-take off, no? So it's different but I still like the written word because you control everything. Just in case that YouTube or TikTok suddenly decides to do something that you don't agree with, or is
Mm.
it's stupid for you, right? Or they shut down in our country, then you still have your own platform. That's why I
Right.
like the blog. No, so
Self-hosting.
that's just, yeah, as a digital marketer, that's my opinion on that. Right? But
For
it's
sure.
unlikely naman na mangyayari yun. It's unlikely.
Yeah, I actually like, before I started my channel, like a month before, I tried starting a blog. So I tried that
Yeah.
first. But for me, like I really like video, no, like parang digital visual, like that's where I excel at. So I
Yes.
remember I wrote 4 articles. I started a blog, like WordPress also. I got like a domain, ganun. I posted my first 4 articles. I'm like, this is so hard. It took me so long to write these 4 articles. Like writing is just my forte. I really like editing videos. So I tried
Yeah.
that in April. And I was like, nah, I think I'm gonna abandon this. I'm gonna make this into a video instead
Mm.
because that's what I like more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now you have all of the viewers. A lot of people are on YouTube now. Unlike before, talagang the early adopters pa yung nasa YouTube nun eh. Hindi ganun karaming tao. Bandwidth was bad. Mobile data was horrible. We didn't have LTE. So not a lot of people on YouTube or on Facebook watching videos during that time. But now you
Mm,
have it. And I'm so glad that it 100% fits what you love doing, which is editing video.
right. And people forget that YouTube is also a search engine because we're talking about SEO, no? Like,
It's the second biggest.
yeah, who owns YouTube? Google din eh. And for me,
Yeah.
at the start now, when if we want to talk about like how to make it on YouTube, because like that's always the argument that do I start a YouTube channel? Like it's so saturated na eh. But one of the
Yeah.
first few things that I learned, like yeah, like you can make vlogs now, but people don't really know you yet. People don't care about you. And for
Yeah.
me, like one of the first things that I learned is also like the importance of YouTube SEO. Like if
Yeah.
if you're gonna make a video, at least make it like useful. At the end of the day, you're making videos now, and people are consuming it. So people have to have a reason to consume your content, and also like yeah, I'm just making it rank, making it show up. Like for me, when I started, it was like I wanted to share my thing, what I knew about personal finance. Okay, I would kind of research like how do I write the title, like
Yeah.
copywriting, and then
Yeah.
also yung parang the tags, the description,
Yeah.
everything to help the SEO, the YouTube algorithm kind of understand what my video is about. And then like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the second largest search engine in the world. So Google owns the biggest and the second biggest.
Right,
It's
right. Yun nga.
unfair. They're the biggest monopoly in our world today.
Tech
Jeezy
companies.
is here. I don't know if it's Jeezy or Geezy, but thanks for being here and tuning in. Love that you're here. And Giselle, new subs here. Thank you so much, Giselle. Really appreciate that. I hope that our answer earlier gave you a lot of good ideas. Cedric's here. Hey, Ced, been a while. And he says he used to be a member of UPJFA too. And he has a question for you, Nicole. What are your different investment vehicles?
Ooh,
Yan. Maganda
okay.
yung tanong na yan.
Yeah. I have like a video where I talked about my investments, but that was like 2 years ago, 2020 yun eh. And I've kind of like changed things up. But mostly what I invest in, not individual stocks, I invest in index funds. Like here in the Philippines, it's FMETF. Then I have Pag-ibig MP2. Then I have some
Mm.
crypto. And I started to like invest also in like global markets. Pero ETF din, parang like the US stock index no. I have that. I'm mostly just like experimenting, dabbling. Like, oh, okay, this is what investments are. Learn about it. Does it fit my goals? Does it fit my risk appetite? Do I know what I'm investing in? But yeah, that's like
Mhm.
the answer to that. Like, what are my investment vehicles?
Yeah, that's good. Madami-dami na din yun. I mean, for your age, not yet out of college, when I was your age, I had zero investments.
It's a lot easier than kasi now. This like just the point, like I'm turning 22 this year, and I said that I was starting to learn about these things when I was 18. So it's been 4 years then. So like naturally, you kind of accumulate, learn more, yeah, and adjust.
Yeah.
At the time talaga, I was like learning, like okay, invest in this, invest in this. How does this work? Even though parang I didn't know much at the time. But yeah.
Yeah. That's good. So I'm gonna ask you later what crypto you're investing in. Kasi ngayon, puro crypto na ini-investan ko ngayon eh.
Mm. Yeah, I
So,
have crypto then. Yeah, I got interested in that in 2020. Good time.
what platform do you use now?
Like right now, mainly I have Binance and then
Finance.
crypto.com. I have that too because I hold CRO. And then, yeah, like, those are my main platforms for crypto. But I have yung mga interest accounts din. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, for me, like, I think I saw a question kanina, like, why do you have 19 accounts? Mga ganun. Like, I just really like trying out different platforms, opening new accounts, seeing how they work. No? And if I like it, I'll keep using it. If not, then I'll just close my account.
Yeah,
Ayun,
there
that
you
one.
go. That's the question. Are
Yeah,
there
like,
benefits to it though?
no, like you don't have to. But for me, kasi like I had like a period of time where I would open up different accounts because I wanted to know what was the best bank. Because like, syempre, like if you've been using it, like for me, like I had an account ever since I was younger. Like, so syempre, like the same bank that my parents have. But
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to explore, are there better banks? Like you shop around, no? And some
Yeah.
banks have better apps. Some banks really have bad
Yeah.
service. Ganun.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I just accumulated a lot of accounts at this point. But you don't need to. The advantage, it's hard to manage. If you don't know how to manage it, it's hard to have so many accounts. But if you know
Yeah.
how to, then good. But you have to have a
Yeah.
reason then on why you have multiple accounts now. If
Yeah.
may mga
Yeah.
fees din
True that.
yan, you
True
separate the
that.
money. Ganun.
Yeah. I think for a lot of accounts, it makes sense for investment platforms to have many investment platforms, but bank accounts might be difficult, nga, as Nicole said, to manage
Right.
that.
And it
Yeah.
kind of like it's good to stick with like 1 to 2 banks probably because you build like a relationship with the bank now.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's not just savings accounts that you are getting from the bank. Eh. Credit cards, then home loans, like they have other products. So it's not good to have multiple banks. It's good, okay, for you, but you're scattering your money now. I
Yeah.
think for me, like good advice to say like probably 1 to 2 banks. Para if one is done, you can
Yeah.
have another one. You
Yeah.
know.
And anyway, if you've been following Nicole, I'm sure you know by now that most of your money shouldn't be in the bank.
Yeah, the interest.
Yeah, the interest is gonna kill you. So, and with that, I'm gonna skip to this question: How much of my income should I be investing?
All these
Let's just
general
say, like,
questions.
this person is making 20K. The average 20-year-old or 25-year-old
Right.
working in a 9 to 5 job, 8 to 5 job.
The answer is always like, okay, it will depend because like 20, if you have 20,000 to invest, the answer will depend on your probably your age, your circumstances. Me as someone who's 21 years old, I can afford to invest a lot more and also a lot riskier because I don't have any dependents. But if you're a lot older, let's say like 30 years, 33, 35, no, you probably have kids. You probably have people relying on you. So you can't afford to take as much risk as opposed to me. So
Yeah,
the answer here is always like, how much should you be investing now? At first, like, what are you trying to achieve? No, okay, you're investing. Why are you doing that? Are you trying to like make your money grow, capital appreciation? Are you trying to preserve the value because inflation? Ganun. And then you kind of work toward that. Okay, I want to make my money grow. How much of a risk can I take? Okay, you might like a follow up question like, should I invest in crypto? Should I invest in mutual funds? Should I invest in this? Like another question is also like, okay, you can invest in multiple things. There's so many investment vehicles out there, but pick one that will help you achieve what you're trying to accomplish. No, like
yeah,
your risk appetite. Like you can probably invest in crypto, but can you tolerate like when you wake up tomorrow morning, 10% loss? Is that okay for
yeah,
you? If not, then probably something safer, less risky, less volatile. But yeah, how
yeah,
much of your money should you be investing? It will depend.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I think
But
when I was starting out, it
right,
was
right.
it was a lot riskier yung mga stocks that I was investing in, puro blue chip.
Mm-mm.
And then now I'm investing in crypto, which is super high risk. So
Right.
it depends largely on where you are in life. I completely agree with what you said, Nicole. That was a very good answer.
I think golden rule also is like before you invest now, like syempre, there are things that you need to have before you start investing. If you don't have savings, you should probably not be investing at all. If you don't
Yeah,
have an emergency fund, no, like things for like to help you like keep you afloat if something bad happens, you probably shouldn't be investing any of your income at all. But if you
yeah,
already have like investment, parang like emergency fund, then you can probably invest more now, like take more risk. It really depends on where you are at life, how much you are willing to risk. With investments, talaga, a golden rule is to never invest what you can afford. You can't afford to lose, right? It's always
yeah,
gonna like there's risk when
yeah,
it comes to investing. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Invest money that you're willing to lose. Only invest money that you're willing to lose, diba? Actually, that's gonna be my talk in a crypto event. OPA token. I don't know if you guys know OPA token, but it's a pretty new token. You just have to search it out. OPPA token event. You can find it on Facebook. I'm speaking there. I think it's a free event, so all of you can sign up and attend. My topic there is gonna be how to have more money you're willing to lose so that you can invest more. that's my topic. That's the top. My talk's gonna be for 45 minutes, and you're welcome to join. Um, Ayan, sabi lang mag-promote din daw ako, so I'm promoting now. Now, this is the next question. I'm jumping off to this because it's super related from the last one. Would you recommend beginners to invest in crypto?
Beginners can invest in crypto. There's no problem. There's no rule saying that if you're a beginner, don't. But are you aware of the risks that there are in crypto? Do you understand how crypto works? Because when your money, no, like whether or not you choose to invest in something, you put it in something. One, like a while ago, we were talking all about like the value of money, and there's like it's hard work. No, are you willing
Yeah.
to put your money that you work so hard for in something that you don't understand? Right?
Yeah.
Like beginners, for sure, you can invest in crypto. So as long as you understand how it works, why are you investing it, you're aware of all of the possible risks that could happen to your money. Sure, why not? I have friends who have like 90% of their assets in crypto. But then there's some
Yeah.
people who are like, yeah, just 5%. I'd want to put that much. But
Yeah.
beginners, there's nothing stopping you virtually, But
Yeah.
make sure that you're aware of what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Be aware of the risk. Study it first. Diba? Yan ang laging sinasabi nga ni Marvin Guermo. Crypto whale billionaire Marvin Guermo.
Grabe, sobrang
you're here.
he shifted to crypto na. Like before, I was also like
Oh, yeah.
watching Marvin's contents, no? Like when I was starting out, I remember when I was 18, I was watching so much of his videos.
Really?
Like I talagang like so many it's wild to me now. Like I kind of find my space alongside these people that I used to watch a lot and learn from.
Yeah.
Wala.
Yeah.
It's humbling.
Yeah. Galing, no? Marvin, that guy. We were just chatting last night. That guy's on a whole different level. Yeah,
Machine.
if he's tuned in here, I want him to know that he's I see him as a crypto whale and he's a billionaire.
Grabe.
Naglolokohan kami lagi. Siya naman yung pag wala naman ako sa mga shows niya, sinasabi niya ako yung whale. So, ginagantihan ko lang siya. So, grabe no, time flies. So for those of you who are here for the first time, I just want you to know we have the podcast on Spotify, and I'm actually quite surprised. We have 360 episodes already. Wow. Super
Wow.
fast. And these are our 4 episodes. I think this is gonna be an AMA from our AMA. So one Thursday night recording such as this one, we usually splice it up and put it on Spotify. And these are also on YouTube. So these are also on the YouTube Leadership Stack YouTube channel. If you're more of the visual kind of learner, kagaya ng sabi ni Nicole, she likes to teach visually or to watch and learn visually, then you could watch these episodes on YouTube. So Nicole, thank you so much. We do have a lot more questions here, but what we don't have is time. We have some shout outs here. Marcus Aurelius, hello. Thanks for being here, Marcus. Keith says, hi, Nicole. Ayan. Napanood ko yung recent vid nyo from Sir Marvin. Ayan. Yeah, I think that was is
for
that
you.
from Instagram?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. It's Sir Marvin.
That was
for
my
you.
yeah, that was my. Is that from Instagram? Don't believe that, please. That's fake news. The opener was fake news. Okay, so don't believe that. But yeah, I love doing videos with Marvin. He's so popular. I become a little bit more popular with him. So there you go. He says, can't wait for Marvin to feature Nicole. Oh, yan. Iko-connect ko na kayo, Nicole, para ma-feature
I've actually
ka na.
chatted with Sir Marvin na nga before, like starting out. Like he commented on like 2 of my videos, and I was like, "Whoa, Sir Marvin's commenting on a video." And then yeah, like parang nag-chat kami on Instagram. It's crazy what having like some sort of like online presence, no, and like the network, the industry that's there, like who you can talk to.
Sorry, Nicole, you kind of chopped off there. You said it's kind of
Oh.
funny. It's kind of funny, and then
I mean, like
yeah,
I don't know, like just meeting people. It's fun, like learning from people. Like ito,
Yeah.
this format.
yeah. Marvin is a very chill guy. Super, as in super bait. Talagang ano lang, nagbabatuhan lang kami ng kanya-kanyang fake news namin sa isa't isa. So there you go. Hey Keith, thanks for being here. Hope that you learned from this episode. And for everyone who's tuned in, thank you so much for being here. Again, this is Leadership Stack live every Thursday night, 8 p.m. We are here. I am online and we answer your questions. If you're in Discord, you know where to post your questions. If you're not, there's that rotating thing there at the bottom from.chan.c/discord. That's where you sign up and ask your questions. Or you can ask it in our Facebook group. If you search for Leadership Staff Facebook group, you will find it and you can ask your questions there as well. Thank you so much, guys. We are a little bit over time, and I love this episode, and I love seeing you guys here. And I will see you next week. Take care and